video. Hi, I'm Jaden Fisher in Deputy Heck's office with Channel 1, and we're gonna interview him. And so we have a few questions for you.
Sure.
Is cocaine a problem in the youth?
I think that it's not as big a problem as it used to be. Back in the 70s and 80s, it was more prevalent in youth back then. But here, nowadays, I don't see a whole lot of cocaine.
How often do you see cases of overdose in general?
In general, cocaine or
No, just drugs in general.
That's prevalent in society as a whole. I've seen cases. I've worked Pontiac and Rochester Hills, and in both cities, I've seen more than I count on two hands of drug overdoses, and even I've seen people die because of drug overdoses. It's a pretty scary thing.
So how often do you specifically see cocaine overdoses?
Cocaine, I have myself personally, I've not been in a case where there's been cocaine involved. It's been more heroin, prescription drugs. Cocaine, I haven't really seen it on the streets in quite a while.
Okay. Since cocaine is an expensive drug and we live in a more privileged area, do you think it's easier for us as teenagers to obtain?
Yes and no. I think that because there's more money here in Rochester Hills, and a lot of kids in the Rochester community have more access to money, that makes it easier. But yet, in places where, such as Pontiac and Flint, I think it's more prevalent to get on the street. I think that it's a little bit more, you can find it a little bit easier than, I mean, when kids go out on the street here, it's basically a good community. But when you go out on the street in Flint and Pontiac, and you can pretty much ask some people on the street, and they'll be able to point you in the right direction to get drugs.
Okay. As someone of your position, what do you do to stop the use of drugs in general and cocaine specifically?
Well, I educate. I come to your health classes and I educate you on drug usage and how it can affect your life. And a lot of times I arrest people. I take them to jail. And a lot of times, unfortunately, when it gets that level, it's real then. It makes it real for them. Sometimes being educated is enough for a Rochester Adams student, where a lot of times it may not be for somebody else.
All right, that's all we have. Thank you, Deputy. I'm back to you, Olivia.